Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to HIMediaTV. I am your host from HIMediaTV, and today I want to talk about cancel culture. As you can see from the title, uh, I am very hyper. It is a hyperbolic title, but I want to be very clear for people watching this coming into it. I'm a lefty. I hate the current political administration with Mr. Orange Man. That is where I am. And obviously cancel culture was a thing for such a long time. And while it today has turned into a kind of, far right talking point when they start whinging about free speech while canceling all of the things that, they find objectionable. Cancel culture for a time period, especially during the later, like the second half of the Obama presidency, was a very real thing. People were, we had a villain of the week all the time with tons of people, having old things that they've tweeted or or unscrupulous Twitter history. And there was a moment in time where that stopped and the dogpiling effect of cancel culture kind of started to go away. And there was a unique turning point that I want to talk about. And that is the story of Carson King. Carson King is an Iowan, pictured here. Don't see his face right there, who put up this sign that says Bush Light supply needs replenished. And then he put his Venmo. This was put on television when I think it was on ESPN. And, people see something fun like that, something funny, like, yeah, I'll send you a couple bucks on Venmo. And people did. And Carson, this very kind 22, 23-year-old at the time Iowan, was like, hey, you guys sent me a lot of money. I'm just going to take the money and give it to a charitable cause. And that charitable cause was St. Jude's Children's Hospital, like good work. This was so viral, so good that not only was, Budweiser seeing this, willing to give him an entire year's worth of beer, they were also going to match whatever he raised. That was until Twitter, the devil incarnate. Even back then, before Elon Musk made it go to hell, it was still not fantastic. So what had happened is that when Carson King, 10 years prior, was an actual teenager, like a 11, 12, 13-year-old boy, all with free reign on the internet, like many of us were, said some not okay things. He said that one of his tweets compared black mothers to gorillas, and another joked about black people who were killed in the Holocaust. Now remember, this is a white Iowan 13-year-old boy, the most bigoted demographic on the face of the planet. Now, I'm not defending these words, but like a normal human being, and during this, he said, once he pointed it out, the journalist, I went back and looked at it and I was really upset with myself. King apologized in a press conference before the paper published the profile online. The comments he said were made as jokes between friends. He made in a statement on Twitter, and he called the post an attempt at humor that was offensive and hurtful. Obviously, I made mistakes in the past. In the past, everyone has, and I really hope that people see that at this point in my life, I'm grown, I'm caring, I'm generous, and I hope that's what people focus on. And here's the thing: Anheuser-Busch, the people who are going to give money not over Anheuser-Busch, they pulled out. And then after some backlash to them, they said, we're going to give the money. We're just not going to give him a year of beer. We'll pull whatever the money cost of the year of beer was into the money we give to St. Jude's as a match. And during that time period that they were pulling the money out, and he apologized as quick as he could, and like not in a PR focused way, but in like a genuine, like, I was a kid, I'm ashamed of myself and my behavior, and I've become a better person, and I hope you guys can see that. And it felt genuine at the time. And so what ended up happening is everybody kind of turned on the reporter of the Des Moines Register. Um, the paper posted a statement in response to the online backlash where they defended the reporter, Aaron Calvin, saying that looking into a person's public social media post is a routine part of working a profile. Some of the toughest decisions in journalism are about what to publish or not. And the jokes were highly inappropriate in public posts. Shouldn't that be acknowledged when people who donated by the King's Cause were planning to do so? Hunter wrote, the counter arguments, the tweets were posted 7 years ago when he was 16. Okay, he was 16 years old. Again, one of the most racist demographics on the planet. And he was remorseful. Should we chalk it up to youthful mistake or omit the information? Here's the thing, right? Most normal people like that aren't like this was the point where people realize St. Jude's Hospital just lost out on a shit ton of money because somebody who was a 16-year-old child said some dumb shit, was remorseful and obviously has grown up in that time, and they had no reason to go out and publish this. So what happened? Well, the backlash continued, and then Aaron Calvin, the reporter who did this, had some racist tweets of his own. Because of course he did. Because he was on Twitter during the first term of the Obama presidency. Duh. And so then he posts, hey, just wanted to say that I have previously tweets that have been inappropriate or insensitive. I apologize for not holding myself to the high standard that the registrar holds others. And then, lo and behold, the homeboy got fired. I think that was it. I was looking for the thing. Whatever. Yeah, he got fired. He got fired. So this happened in like 2019, right? This was, this was kind of when there was a shift, it felt like, from the Obama years and the early Trump years to in the Trump years to the sort of apathetic, we want substance of action, not this performative nonsense. This was a period where the performative aspect of cancel culture and stuff was going the way of the dodo. But where's Carson King now after all of this? Well, Carson King now runs something called the Carson King Foundation, which its whole purpose is to give money to children and families in need and doing community organization and things to help maintain and uplift communities in rural Iowa, which is wonderful. To this day, he even has like special Bush cans and stuff with his name and face on it. So just to circle back, in today's day and age, like I said at the beginning, cancel culture is not necessarily a thing that really exists anymore. It exists on the right. It exists when they're trying to, omit the words women or gender or gay or black or piece of people of color or whatever in government documents. It's them trying to, censor any information and opinions that they, that break their worldview and their bubble. And the concept of canceling somebody for being a racist, bigoted jackass at this point in time is not really a thing anymore. First of all, it doesn't really work. People don't seem to care since the right wing was resurgent. And second, I think like outside of the most performative people, most people on the left at this point, we really don't care. If you've got if you've got a history in the far past of being a dickhead, as long as you're either out of the way or with the program now. Others might say differently, but leftist infighting is happening. So yeah, that's the story of how cancel culture began to die, or how cancel culture died. So yeah, have a good one.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at himedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a dollar on this food. Thank you so very much. I appreciate